Hey, we're recording. Nice. Um, Hello everybody. This is the Beige Wonder once again coming to you with my 2 cents. And of course, what am I giving my 2 cents on? Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalker. Um, I didn't like it. I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest. Didn't like it. My interpretation of it was that it was long overdue. It was trying to make up for Last Jedi, which was not that great of a movie. This goes back to a point that I was making years ago about if you start something, you need to finish it. If J.J. Abrams should have kept going with the trilogy instead of missing the second one, which was Last Jedi of this trilogy, it's the same way how I feel like Bryan Singer should have stayed and made and finished his vision of X-Men instead of letting Brian. I forgot the dude's name that did Last Stand. Brett Ratner. Um, Pretty much explains that the third movie was trash. It's like the early Marvel movies was trash because the directors never stayed to finish their trilogies. You know, it could be said for Blade, it could be said for X Men. Um, this movie had a lot of hit and misses for me. I think it was trying to be more Avengers Endgame ish when it should have just been Star Wars. Um, yeah, you if you can't tell that it wasn't trying to be Avengers, you probably was just going in there just looking for a good movie. Um, it was good for a popcorn movie, but for what Star Wars is or was or what it was trying to be, yeah, it was not good. Um, I didn't really care for the surprise that Rey was actually Palpatine's granddaughter. I thought that was trash. I thought that was a huge cop out. It really was just them trying to save face from Last Jedi, and yeah, it didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Um, the ending part with them with Poe giving that little speech about nobody's coming. Nobody came in Last Jedi. Like nobody came to help them or do anything. But somehow, some way, everybody showed up. Like that didn't make any sense. Um, it really was trying to have a very high. I There are so many hits and misses with this movie. It's just so many hits and misses, man. It was giving great fan service. It really was, but the character build up was flawed. There was no satisfactory ending to the characters that they was trying to build up and the characters that came before. It like the movie is called Rise of the Skywalker. All the Skywalkers are dead. There was no Skywalker by right that was alive. It was just about Rey taking the Skywalker name. Even though she is the bloodline of the people that created the entire Star Wars tragedy or problems like from the beginning. Like you're the granddaughter of the guy who started this whole entire mess from Phantom Menace to um Return of the Jedi up into the New Order. Like you're the granddaughter of the most evilest person who created this whole entire problems for everybody, and you stole the Skywalker name when all the Skywalkers are now dead. Yeah, that. Sorry, I can't go along with that. There were so many characters in this movie that didn't get their just desserts. Um, Excuse me. Sorry, allergy season. Um, like you brought back Lando Calrissian, um, for basically cameo purposes. He really didn't serve a purpose in this movie. Nobody respected him other than just like, oh man, you're Lando. Okay, let's give you your praise and then we'll move on. Um, there's a lot of generals in this movie as well. Like there's the rebellion, and then there's all the generals. Like you easily can get promoted into general status just like that. Like you don't even have to do much, which was crazy within itself. Um, I try not to pick at movies, but when I feel like it was a disappointment to the what the universe is as a whole. I think at this point everybody's going to try to be like Marvel. Everybody's going to try to reach the Marvel status quo. Endgame did what I have to say was a unified vision. This is one man's vision by the name of Kevin Feige, who took characters that he loved and that characters that he adored from the beginning of the Marvel movie stuff. Like Kevin Feige's been there since Blade. He's been a producer for like every Marvel movie, and to go on to say, hey, we can do a whole shared universe. Like Marvel did it great first, and they gave everybody the cinematic ending that it needed to give. And I think everybody's going to try to copy that. Where Star Wars probably did it first, but unfortunately, they've dropped the ball. Some people could say it started with the prequels, and this trilogy for it to be the closing of like what 30 or 40 years of a saga, it dropped the ball. It really did. I can nitpick and go into high detail, but for me and my 2 cents, it just dropped the ball. Um, I really did go in there with great expectations, thinking that okay, this is going to be the end of the saga, so let's close it out properly. There were some gratifying moments that I appreciated in it, saying that Leia was a Jedi and that she completed her Jedi training and she was a lightsaber wielder and everything. That was great. Um, I really appreciated that they brought back Han Solo, Harrison Ford, to close out that chapter with his son. Um, I really didn't care for Ben Solo. Sorry, but that storyline was flawed and it was not great. And his character development was unsatisfactory for me. Um, yeah, i- if you're going out with a bang, go out with a bang. Don't hold nothing back. Don't leave it for fans to be smart and try to pick up on it. Like you had there's a moment in the movie, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this. There's a moment in the movie where Ray is on her knees and she's falling down, and she starts hearing the voices. If you're going to be like the Avengers and try to close it out with the Avengers, then go out with a bang. Ray should have, when she heard those voices, you should have saw them when she stood up. When she rose her head up, she should have saw all the Jedi's before her. There's a series called Avatar: The Last Airbender. In that series, there was a moment where Aang, the last Avatar, had came up with. He was disconnected from all the other avatars that came before him, and the whole entire season was about him finding his reconnection. He managed to find that, and you saw all the avatars that came before him. That should have happened with Ray. Instead of hearing everybody's voices, you should have been able to saw Obi-Wan Kenobi, old and young, Yoda, um, Ahsoka, Anakin Skywalker, or I'm trying to think of every freaking Jedi, um, Luke, Leia, Qui Gon Jinn. Like you should have saw all of them in that moment, and the final one should have been Princess Leia, who was her master, because that was said in the movie. And in the same pinnacle of her touching the droid in the very first Star Wars movie, which was New Hope, even though chronologically it's not. But in that first Star Wars movie, where Princess Leia kneels to R2D2 and says, "You're our only hope," you should have did that. That would have been great. that to me, showing all of them in that moment when Rey rises up to finish off her grandfather, to me, that would have been the best way to go out with this movie. But yeah, there was a lot of flaws in this movie. Unfortunately, I can't give it a high ranking, even though, hey, this is just my 2 cents and who am I? But I'm just giving my standpoint. Not to make this a clickbait thing, but it was lackluster. For the build up, it just was, and it feels like it was just J.J. Abrams was basically saying, hey, Ryan Johnson, fuck you for messing up a trilogy, but shame on JJ for stepping away when he should have just finished it himself. But anyway, that's my 2 cents, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for listening. You can give this a thumbs up, thumbs down, like, share, subscribe, ban, whatever you want to do. But that's just my 2 cents on Star Wars. Rise of the Skywalker. It should have been Rise of the Palpatine, but hey, who am I? But anyway, thank you guys so much. Happy New Year to you all. I'm trying not to let the syndicate of adulting stop me from making these videos, but it's been a while, so hey, you know how it goes. Life is life. But I'll see you all in the funny pages. Peace.